must go on. Oh, the damage done.
You know, there's a lot that can be said about CD Projekt Red and CyberPunk 2077, right? Because every day a day goes by with news about this game, right? It was arguably the most hyped game to come out in quite some time. CD Projekt Red coming off of the blockbuster success of Witcher 3, and ironically enough, Cyberpunk was actually was announced in 2012. Pretty much a couple years before The Witcher 3 even came out, the game was announced, and like, this game been a long time. I remember the original reveal of the game. I forgot when I saw it, but I do remember the original reveal of the game had the pretty lady with these, like, I don't know what you call them, like tarantula arms or whatever. I guess she had recently just killed someone, and there was police surrounding her. Like, it's a pretty insane trailer. Right, that trailer, I saw that trailer 8 years ago. Yeah, pretty much 8 years ago. As long as this game's been in development. So you have that, right? And FYI, for all you dummies saying, "Oh, why are you playing this game on the PS4 and Xbox One?" That game was announced before those consoles came out. So yeah. So alright, so you fast forward to this year, right? After years of hype, years of speculation, years of boasting from CD Projekt Red, the game gets an announced date for a date for this year, right? It was supposed to be announced for 2020. Boom, you get the first delay, right? Boom, you get a second delay. You get delay after delay, and the delays have been coming for a couple years. But, it felt like it was time for this game to come out, right? So after another delay, the final release date was December 10th, right? So the game comes out, the game, and already we have controversy when it comes to the review process of the game. And then normally, when there's controversy regarding a review, of when the review is supposed to be done, who's getting the review, stuff like that, right? When there's controversy within a review, that's always the red flag. Always the red flag. Doesn't necessarily mean the game is bad or good. It's just that normally game reviews come out before the launch of a game, right? Perfect example. God of War 2018. I think there were reviews of that game several weeks before it came out, right? There were, I think there are definitely other games in that category that you notice that the embargo for the reviews are weeks before the game comes out, right? That's normally a sign that developers and companies are confident enough about the game to have people review it, and they're confident enough that the game's gonna score well, and then they can use that as a way to bolster, use that as marketing tools for the game. You know what I mean? You gotta get what I'm saying, right? So, but it's not always crystal. It's not always like set in stone that a game reviews early is gonna be good. You know what I mean? Nothing set in stone. But the controversy behind Cyberpunk is that the only version of the game that's getting reviewed is a PC version, right? And to me, that's rare. I can't speak for no one else. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but to me, that's rare. When a game that's on console is reviewed first on PC and viewed pretty much exclusively on PC first, that's a sign that something's up. Cause that rarely happens. Even with games that are more PC centric, right? If the version's available on console, they're going to review it on console at the same time. So something was up, right? And according to what went around is that CD Projekt Red basically told reviewers that the only version they can review is the PC version, and they can't. And I believe they couldn't use their own gameplay or screenshot. I think it was only supposed to be like the one that they chose or something like that, right? So the game comes out, and the game originally starts off as a Metascore of an 89 on PC, right? Which is obviously a very good score. Some people can quibble about I lie. I think the game originally came out as a 90 on Metacritic, which is an excellent score. I know a lot of people like to quibble about, oh well, it should have been a 94, 95. I think people make too much of a big deal over that. A good score, like to me, a great game in my eyes is an 85 and above. A consensus great game is an 85 and above, right? But a good game is a game that you like, right? I don't like Metacritic is only used as a barometer, not as the rule. But regardless, the game comes out as a 90, right? And right now, currently, I think it's at 87 right now. And the reason why is because while the game definitely looks best on the PC, the game still has some bugs, right? Which if that was really only the case, then I don't think that there would be such a big uproar with this game. The problem is with the PS4, the vanilla PS4, and the Xbox One versions of this game. I don't know what the status is right now, but when they came out, it was virtually unplayable. You heard hints of this stuff when I was listening a couple weeks ago when I was listening to Press Start podcast, where someone who had the game early was playing the game. I think his name was Jay Harvey. Had the game, was playing the game, and was telling him that the game was buggy as shit and did not look good at all. Looked terrible. I think he said it was something along the line of N64 graphics in some cases, in some areas, right? So and my thought process was, well, they're probably going to get the first big patch that a game normally gets will fix those problems, right? So fast forward days later, people are showing videos of the game being the game crashing numerous times, showing like this a insane amount of glitches in a game in this game, an insane number of glitches. So that comes out. Then you see, CD Projekt Red comes out with an apology, right? And let me see if I can find it here. I'm looking at it on a different. I'm trying to look for the apology. This one is on the website. Oh God. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm going to read this apology, right? No, I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read the main parts. First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One. So essentially, they're pretty much admitting that they hid those versions of the game. So that's it is what it is. Second, we will fix bugs and fixes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more, and we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, will continue working. Will release 2 large patches starting with patch 1 in January. And this will be followed by patch 2 in February. That caused a lot of issues for a lot of people. Now, this is me talking now. This caused a lot of issues because essentially, their CD Projekt Red has said that we're probably going to wait till after the holidays to really get down and dirty when it comes to fixing this game. Now, here's the thing, right? For me, I get that people need holiday break. I get it. But you also have a bunch of paying customers who you guys have duped into buying this game. So I feel like, should they work nonstop? No. But I feel like, these patches should be done a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? Right, that's just me. But anyway, let me continue reading. Okay, finally, we would also like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance, but if you are not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copy purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox Live respectively. Okay, this is where alright, sorry about that. This is where all the BS begins. This is where the other side of the BS begins, excuse me. Now, Microsoft's refund policy is pretty straightforward. You play a game for a couple hours. If you don't like it, you can refund it, whatever, right? Sony's is a lot more stringent, as in that they don't offer refunds at all. Like, at least I've heard some situations where they offer refunds, but it is not, it's not a thing. Really, for real. It's not really a thing. And apparently CD Projekt Red did not inform Sony of this. So Sony decided, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're delisting your game, right? They offered the refunds because obviously there were going to be a lot of refunds coming out of this game. I think a lot of people bought this game on base PS4, and they were going to have to refund the game. So Sony decided, you know what? F this, we're delisting the game. So as of right now, you cannot buy this game digitally on PS4. You can buy it physical. I think a lot of there was some joke going around that all of a sudden the game's an Xbox One exclusive. I mean if that's the hill that Xbox fanboys want to die on, I know a lot of people are just joking about that. There's some that are serious. If that's the hill they want to die on, that's fine. It is what it is. But the thing that I'm confused with is that there are people criticizing Sony for delisting the game and not offering a real discount. Well, first of all, you not discount. I mean a refund. First of all, you can get a discount. You can get a refund for this game, right? But Sony decided, you know what? We're not selling this game anymore. If we're gonna have constant refunds of this game, we're not going to sell it. And a lot of people had an issue with that. And I'm like, this is funny because a company that has always been charged as being anti-consumer, right? Sony, big bad Sony, they're anti-consumer. They finally do something that's actually pro-consumer, and people bitch and complain about it. So let me ask you guys a question, realistically. If you have a product that's in your store that is constantly getting refunded, it's constantly getting recalled back, right? What would you do? Continue selling it? No, you would get the fucking thing out of the market. And that's essentially what Sony did. I get why they did it. They didn't do it because the game was buggy. They did it because for one, I think part of it is that CD Projekt Red put their foot in their mouth and pretty much said, oh, if you want to refund the game, let Sony and Microsoft handle that. Which is something they should have never have done. Right? And without even discussing it with Sony, according to reports. But if you're Sony, like if you're someone who's criticizing Sony for it, why would you sell a product that's defunct and deal with constant refunds after refund after refund? Especially when you hear that these guys are not going to be fixing this game for at least for a couple weeks. So why would a company continue to sell a product that is known to not be good? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any sense. A lot of it is just bullshit. Like that's what it is, right? Now Microsoft, they also what they did is that they pretty much extended their refund policy to where I guess you could return the game regardless of how long you played it or whatever. So that's fine too. Like I said, like people are criticizing Microsoft for not delisting the game. Listen, we know why they're not delisting the game. Because for one, they have a marketing deal. Every time that game goes on is on commercials, there's always an Xbox logo that starts before it and after it. So we know why. Right? And secondly, they have a refund policy. Right? They already have a refund policy in place. And they also have, for those of you again saying, "Oh well, you know, people should not have bought this game on consoles or whatever," they also have a custom-made Cyberpunk console, where I believe it's supposed to be the One X. Like they're selling and they're advertising a Cyberpunk themed Xbox. So I mean, come on now. But regardless of that, you know, some people wanted to criticize them for not delisting the game. Like as far as I'm concerned, as long as you can get a refund, regardless of how they're doing it, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with what Sony's doing. There's nothing wrong with Microsoft doing. There really isn't. And a lot of it just comes down to this fanboyism. That's all it is. All right, let me finish the statement here. Let me finish the apology here. Okay. For box versions, please first try to get a refund at the store that you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us at helpmerefund@cdprojectred.com, and we will do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, which is actually just passed. So, all right. So that was their apology, right? Then the whole thing happened with Sony delisting the game, Microsoft extending the refund. Now you hear words of their investors, maybe suing them for lying to them. And look, at the end of the day, here's what the deal is, right? Obviously, games have come out buggy, right? Especially as it's been like this throughout the gaming industry, right? You always hear about stories about games that had to deal with crunch, which is something that CD Projekt Red had to deal with. There was a story that came out in September that they had to start using crunch and shit like that to finish the game. You hear this thing happen all the time, right? Like Fallout 76 came out a broken mess. It was a PR nightmare, and it is what it is. The problem with what happened with CD Projekt Red is that they were very very confident, I'll say, about what about their capabilities and their abilities, right? When it comes to, dealing with their response to microtransactions, their response to game performance and stuff like that, and and to me, I think a lot of people, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm that way too. A lot of people realize that. And notice that their tweets essentially came back to bite them in the ass. Yeah. So yeah, like they've made tweets. Like I said earlier, I was looking for some examples, but I can't find any at the time, and I'm kind of in a hurry. But they put their foots in their mouth plenty of times when it comes to this game and boasting about this game and their practices and all the other stuff. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people have taken glee into what happened to this game. Now, ultimately, do I think that this is the worst launch in gaming history? Um, no, but it's close. It's real close. You know what I mean? Like I can't think. Like obviously, either Infamous One is ET. That game, you in some ways you can say kind of damaged the entire gaming industry. I don't know that for a fact, but that it definitely came around the same time. But yeah, there's been lots of disastrous launches, and this one is just as bad as any of the other ones. And I think it was a lot of their boasting and bluster that I think really did a number. Plus, them hiding the copy, hiding the console version. The game has tons of bugs and glitches, and even with the PC version, which is clearly the best version, still has bugs and issues like that. Like I said, it's a disaster. Like it is a disaster, and at the end of the day, you can apologize, CD Projekt Red. You can apologize. You can promise this and that, all this other crap. But at the end of the day, the damage is done, my friend. This is Who We 186. I'm out. Peace.